Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Shahida Mohta and I am from the Faculty of Information and Communication Technology, UTM. In this lesson, I look forward to giving you some key points on how to use database programming language known as SQL. By the end of this lesson, it is expected that we are able to write SQL using data definition language command to create table with constraint. For your information, the data types and syntax that we will discuss in this lesson are Oracle compliant. In the previous lesson in part 2, we have learned how to create table using SQL without constraint. So what is constraint? Constraint is used to the SQL command to prevent invalid data entry into database tables. In this lesson, we will focus on 6 constraints and they are number 1, primary key, foreign key, not null, unique, default, and lastly is check constraint. The primary key constraint uniquely identifies each record in a database table. Note that column with primary key must contain unique value, which means the column cannot be left empty. To define a primary key, we simply write the word primary key after the attribute declaration. A table may have more than one primary key. If that's the case, in Oracle we need to define the primary key in a new line, where you need to list the column name in a bracket as shown here. When we want to create a relationship between tables using SQL, we need a foreign key to represent the relationship. In the ER diagram shows that member type ID is a foreign key in the member table. This means the value of member type ID in member table is referring to the values of member type ID in the member type table. To declare a foreign key constraint to the member table, we simply write foreign key and followed by column name member type ID in a bracket, then followed by the word references to the member type table and end our code with semicolon. Not null constraint can only be defined at the column level. A column defined with not null constraint requires that every column must contain values. Note that member ID, member name, email, and member type column in the member table are assigned with yes required, which means values must exist in these columns. To define a not null constraint to a column, we just write the word not null after defining the column name and the data type. Unique constraint will ensure a column to eliminate duplicate values. In this example, email can be defined as unique if we don't want any duplicates email address in the column. Let's say a new member named Firdaus Hassan is added into the member table and we want to assign him with a new email address. It is important for an organization to ensure that no two people to have the same email address. To prevent duplication in a column, the email column could be defined using a unique constraint to the email column. The default constraint is used to insert a default value into a column. In this event, that a new row is inserted and no value for the column is assigned, the default value will be assigned instead of a null value. In this example, a default command is added to the status field where the available word will be the default value for this field. Check constraint ensure that updated or inserted values met specific conditions such as limiting the value range that can be placed in a column. Note that check constraint can also be used together with comparison operators. In this example, let's say we want to set 2 is the maximum quantity of books that can be borrowed by a member type staff. So we can add the constraint by writing the SQL command check followed by expression max quantity equals to 2. This code contains comparison operator called equal to. Other comparison operators that we can use to limit the values in a column are greater than, greater and equal to, and less than, less and equal to, and equal to, and not equal to. For example, if we want to set the database system to ensure the maximum quantity is not equal to 2, we can write the SQL syntax as shown in red. There are also logical operators that we can include in the check constraints such as between, and or. These constraints are useful for us to emphasize business rules to meet business requirements during the development of database. Alright students, now we have come to the end of our lesson. In the next lesson, we will learn how to delete database and table using SQL DDL command. For more details on the SQL data definition language, you may refer to these recommended references. Until then, thank you for listening and Assalamualaikum.